Hello, I'm Jean-Guy Bourguignon, and this is my first take on my why as it pertains to cannabinoid therapy. I've been involved in the chronic pain world since 2008, dealing with individuals that had knee issues, ankle issues, back, and so forth. Going forward, 2015, I got introduced to cannabinoid therapy, and when I got approached, it was about working with veterans, those suffering from PTSD and chronic pain. Being the son of a World War II veteran and the nephew of a Korean veteran, I jumped both feet in, and absolutely I will work with veterans, especially when I was explaining the hurt they were all going through, which once you get into the PTSD world and you get to understand them, when I look at it going back in time, how my father, today we call it PTSD, back then he was medicating with alcohol. Never took a day off in his life, workaholic, but that's how he medicated. Flash forward today, when I work with cannabinoid therapy and with veterans, which expanded to children with cancer, individuals with seizure, anxiety, Parkinson's, dementia, and I listen go on, the anecdotal evidence that in my years of experience now has astounded me. And I know there's medical evidence and evidence-based medicine that's coming out, and all the research is coming out, but the anecdotal evidence, when you look at community, family, work, and social life, when you look at those qualities that make up a sound society, a developed society, and how cannabinoid therapy, in our experience, I've seen individuals come up 60 pills, 50 pills, 30 pills, 20 pills a day. The average individuals on how many opiates and pharmaceuticals they take on a daily basis, how does somebody get up to 40, 50, 60 pills a day, is astonishing to start with. That said, with cannabinoid therapy, following a tailored treatment plan prescribed on the basis of diagnosis of medical condition, and those that follow it, the regimen, which your fat solubles, for example, consume with your CBDs and your THC at night, and without going into the particulars of the concentration of that, what was important is when those that did follow the cannabinoid therapy, the return to life, the community, family, work and social life, those that re-engage with family, and how it changes lives when you look at children that their father was an alcoholic and sleeping in the basement for the last 3 years and hasn't even addressed his son. When you work with individuals like that and then come in cannabinoid therapy and they follow a tailored treatment plan, and a year into their cannabinoid therapy, they're down from 50 pills a day down to 10, or down 30 to down to 0, or just taking 1 or 2 pills for blood pressure. That's it, nada. So that's my why when I look at the change in individuals that make love to their wives again, spouses that re-engage with family, individuals that want to return to work. That's my why in cannabinoid therapy, and why I got involved, and I'm still strongly advocate for cannabinoid therapy, but it's only one tool in the toolbox. Those, from anecdotal evidence here, those that I've work with across Canada, nationally across Canada. I've opened medical clinics for large organizations that are expanding so they can reach and touch more lives and change more lives. And then the individuals that follow the tailored treatment plan, what I found was prior to cannabinoid therapy with the alcohol abuse and the PTSD condition and so forth, they were not listening to their social workers. They weren't listening to their psychiatrists. They weren't following treatment. They basically, when's the next bar and when's my next drink and so forth. I ran institutions as a deputy of operations in correctional facilities, and I've seen many veterans over the years, weekenders we would call them, and those individuals are the ones suffering in our community, helping our country, and they come back, and there's a percentile of them that come back that are different, and mothers and fathers will tell you that my son, my daughter is different. And those individuals that are suffering get involved with alcohol, end up incarcerated on weekends longer. They affect their lives, they affect their families' life, the ripple effect. But with cannabinoid therapy, when they come off on all the other medication, the wonder of that is that they start listening to their psychiatrists and social workers and dietitians and physicians and the treatment plans they start following. That's why cannabinoid therapy is a tool in the toolbox. The other components, your multidisciplinary services, those are the ones that really secure that health and treatment. And another thing anecdotally is what I found over the years is that the majority of individuals consuming marijuana, let's call it marijuana for now, those of them consuming marijuana is for medical reasons. Individuals come to me because they're dealing with their Crohn's or dealing with their chronic pain, menstrual cramps, headache, anxiety, stress, seizures, but they all burn it. They all smoke it. Where you're burning your marijuana, you're burning away the medicine. The big bulk of your medicine is being destroyed. So that's why tailored treatment plans with your oils and your decarboxylators and your sublingual sprays, and you only use your vaporizer when needed. The rest has to be consumed by the body so it can get absorbed by the body with your fat solubles and so forth. So when I look at that, that's where I've done some talks across this country, and one of them was on marijuana in the workplace. And I scratched out the word marijuana in the workplace and I changed it to medical cannabinoids in the workplace, because marijuana in the workplace will be detrimental. And I'm talking as a businessman here, and I'm talking of a businessman of nearly 3 decades. Marijuana in the workplace will be detrimental, but medical cannabinoids in the workplace will go unnoticed. I take THC and CBD every day. Nobody knows the difference. Why? Because it's done properly, done with a low percentile of THC compared to my high percentile of CBD. So my why is it changes lives. It's helping our community. And I'm going to talk as a father, I'm going to talk as a member of the community, I'm going to talk as a businessman. It's important those that consume to consume it properly, and when they do, our community, the workplace, the family lives, everything that encompasses us as human beings changes. Jean-Guy Bourguignon, those that need assistance and friends of mine, reach out to me. Private message me, send me a text. You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on the internet. So those that need assistance, trust me on that. If you are suffering from alcohol abuse, if you're suffering from pharmaceutical type products that you've titrated, you've changed it over, that zombie effect, the clouded mind effect, you want to get rid of that and you want to re-engage in your life, reach out. And a lot of individuals will tell me that my doctor doesn't want to prescribe it, etc. It's not their fault. They still, to my knowledge, a lot of them still haven't taken it in school. They've never taken it. So how can they write a prescription? How could they give you a tailored treatment plan and based on diagnosis on something they don't know? They don't know the concentration, the percentiles, etc. So they can't write a prescription on something they don't know anything about. It's their legal obligation to treat you properly. So that's why there is MDs out there, physicians that work with us and work with in the groups with large entities that I work with that are educated and know how to prescribe properly, and so that you have a successful transition and titrating to CBD and THC. I can talk for hours here, but my why, because it changes lives for the community, family, work, and social life. Jean-Guy Bourguignon, wishing you a great day. Thank you.